Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palettes. I am Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studios. With me today is Jiunn Liu, Seth Geis, and from the Villigar Cigar Studios, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Oh man, I'm sorry, dude. Aaron got me going down dark tunnel, and I'm glad
down
I
that
got it.
YouTube path, chasing those YouTube demons.
Yeah.
And now we're on the
Traditional.
Navy.
Yeah, we're on the Navy now.
So we're talking about the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust Stillwell Star Navy number 1056. Cigar is a Toro 6x52. Comes out of the Hoyt, Nicaragua factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano. Binder is Mexican San Andres Negro. Filler is from Nicaragua. Also red and golden Virginia. Naval rations, Orientals, and Latakia. Blended by Steve Saka. Price point is $15.30, and the cigar was released in November of 2021. So with all that out of the way, Jiunn, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
So just like the other Stillwell that we reviewed, the pre-light was awesome. The smoking experience, not so much. Speaking of pre-light, especially the cold draw and the wrapper smell, it was awesome. It was like it basically was like I was nosing and cold drawing like a Isla peated scotch. So a lot of this like peat smoke, iodine, bandages, like hospital smells. To most people that probably sounds disgusting, but I love it.
Smell of a hospital?
Yeah, there's like that, the plasticky, rubber bandage kind of a thing.
Medicinal rubber.
Medicinal, medicinal elixirs or whatever you want to say. But other than that, I thought it was kind of the actual smoking experience. There was none of that there at all. The flavors itself, it was like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I didn't get any of that pre-light, like I guess slash pipe tobacco note. It was naturally sweet. It was creamy, nutty. It was like some nice, well-rounded spice to it, but because there was no like pipe tobacco flavors, I ultimately thought that was it. It was an overall average experience.
All right, Seth, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, listen, I mean, as Jiunn said, the pre-light aroma was great. Strong oak. I was getting like barbecue, peated scotch. It was awesome. First third was delivering those earth mineral barbecue qualities. There was some damp wood and toasted tobacco. I mean, it was concentrated, and then it just kind of lingered throughout the rest of the cigar. And it just, I wouldn't say that it got worse. It destroyed my palate. It just got to the point where I was like, I can't keep doing this. Medium and strength and body throughout. Really good. Actually, I did not have a great burn and draw on this cigar, which was odd. I think I had a fluke on that one. Maybe not. John, take over.
So I'll echo a lot what's already been said. I didn't actually get a lot of that sort of Latakia on the aromas pre-light, but I definitely got it through the smoking experience. And I tend to retrohale.
You get a lot of Latakia.
Latakia.
A lot of Latakia.
A lot of Latakia. I tend to retrohale a lot with the with puffs, especially on something like this, which wasn't super super over medium. So I actually got a lot of the pipe tobacco in the first third, and I actually thought, I was like, oh man, this is like, to me, this is what I was hoping for in the aromatic. And when you take away that sweet cap, I got a lot more of the pipe tobacco influence. So it was a good balance between cigar tobacco and pipe tobacco. And I was like, boy, I hope the rest of the cigars like this. And of course, the tobacco princess hates me, and she's like, no. So that balance kind of fell off in the second third. You could still get that sweet pipe tobacco and baking spice combination, but it was like it was just out of reach. So it was just so faint, and I really wanted that intensity to be dialed up. So it's ironic that I want more of it, not less of it. And then the last third, again, you could still get that mild pipe tobacco and mild dry wood, but you're really, really reaching for it, which is not what I want. I want my nasal cavity completely dominated by it. So, for me, well, I guess we'll talk about it in the whole thing. So talking about the draw and burn, and I assume because there's so much pipe tobacco, I can only imagine what a pain it is to get that to burn. I had to relight. That was the only issue I had. I don't really consider it that big of a deal because if it's got pipe tobacco in it, I just can't imagine how you make that burn consistently. But the draw was perfect. So overall, slightly above average experience. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with toasted oak and a sharp baking spice. Some light peated whiskey kind of joined a bit later as the baking spice settled down. Some mustiness joined in a little bit later. That cigar kind of maintained the musty toasted oak up front with light baking spice and peated whiskey in the background the rest of the way. Cigar started with a nice combination of flavors. That peated whiskey was a really nice supporting note. Getting a little bit of that of what we got at the pre-light to come through in the cigar. But the profile dropped to average in the second third as the baking spice fell back and kind of maintained that the rest of the way. So I think this is probably my favorite though out of the four. I've smoked them all. I could have gone for a fuller peated whiskey note in the profile. All just more of the flavors. We want more of that. Whatever it is, just give us more of it. But I think this probably smoked more like a traditional cigar than any of the four lines. So I could see it being the one that probably sells the best. But I say that and then I think back, well, the other one has a sweetened head, so maybe that one sells the best. But for people that don't necessarily prefer that, this is probably the best, I think would be the best seller. But still not a profile I'd come back to all that often. It's just not like something that's saying like it's really good all the way through. And the price point's high. But in this experiment or whatever it is for this series, I think this is the best one. All right, getting into the scores. Going to start at the top with John at 5.9. I gave it a 5.85. Jiunn gave it a 5.75. Seth gave it a 4.03. So John, how'd that 5.9 match up for you?
It matches up well. I think it would have gotten in the low sixes, probably exactly a 6.1 if the burn would have been perfect. But that matches up well. As you already mentioned, this is by far my favorite of the ones I've smoked so far.
Yeah, my 5.85 matches up well, above average flavor profile. I had really good construction. Not perfect. Burn line was a little bit wavy. Draw was a little bit tighter than I prefer, but these are just ticky tacks that we have to do for, maintaining what amazing actually is. So, no big deal, but it's okay. Jiunn 5.75.
These types of cigars still doesn't really impress me at all. So it's always the same story. It's great pre-light and mediocre flavored smoking experience. So yeah, I'm still looking for that. Can someone just go over the top? Like, just give me a whole fucking cigar with like
Pipe tobacco.
Just do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Seth 4.03.
I'm not a Navy man. This is not. This guy
doesn't have his sea legs here.
This is not. You guys set out to sea on this one. I just couldn't get behind it. I do want to I said this countless times with all of these. I just wish that they were like really smaller vitolas, and you could kind of just get a concentrated blasting from the flavors and then just be like, okay, there it is. I've had my experience. But I would love to smoke just the tobacco on their own. I think this was kind of one of those like blends that like I'd love just to smoke some Latakia or some Gold, all the other ones. So
yeah. All right. Any other final thoughts? Or I think pretty much covers what we said in probably the other review from the series is just that size is too big. Not enough of the flavor. I think that pretty much sums it up, right?
Yeah. Try it out for yourself.
Yeah. All right. If you just catch this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. But check out the full written review on the website, developingpalace.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review caps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, 'tis not a man, 'tis a remorseless smoking machine.